I don't know if you've ever sighted in a gun, but when you shoot a gun right out of the package, you got to look down the barrel, and you take the little things that are on the back, and some guys, here's a gun nut. He's like, oh, there's a name for that, Tim. I call it the sights. And so you look through the thing, and then you see the other little thing out there in front of it, and you have to shoot it, and predicated on the past standard, you know that somewhere in the middle it's going to line up, and then once you got it sighted in, you're going to hit the mark every time. The reason why some of us can't calibrate our character is because we look at God as an accessory and not an absolute. We want to take our spirituality and accessorize our life. I want to put on the watch of God, the necklace of God, maybe a ring to match, maybe some sunglasses. But God is not an accessory. He's not something you can just wrap around your life. It has to be your life. And David figured out that secret, that if I make it about his name, everything else takes care of itself. And so we see this almost paradox that in direct proportion to David's priority of lifting the name of God, that the higher he lifts God's name, the greater God lifts David's fame. And I wonder if we might ever invert that process and we start being about our name and our fame instead of about his name and his fame. And then because we made it about ourselves, when we get there and we're sitting there in the palace, we're now the CEO, we now have the house, we have the car, we have the pretty kids, we show them off, and they're the greatest at the sport, and yet inside we're still dying. Inside we're still nervous. Inside we're still insecure. Inside we're still not able to sleep at night. We don't have the purpose and somehow we lost focus while we were fighting, while we were wrestling. We lost focus that it was supposed to be about his name. And I just wanted to ask you this morning, how are you living out this principle? David shows us that you can calibrate your character to where you can stay in the lane of being about his name.